My name is Jinsik Yoo. I'm from South Korea. I'm working at the clay studio in Philadelphia as a resident artist. I make figurative and abstract human forms through the manipulation of clay. I believe art is an artifact and an invention. Even if it's a human image, it's still something unknown. I admire the universe and art because they are objects I don't know, and that's why they can exist in a metaphor. It's something that can be recognized only through imagination. The figurative sculptures I make are the objects of constant exploration and a mirror at the same time. I can only look at and understand it based on what I know and experience. That is how the sculpture I express can be a self-portrait. In my undergrad, I majored in graphic design. Even though I loved painting, since there was no artist in my family, I never expected to be an artist. That was just not an option. After graduating my BFA, I got several part-time jobs as a graphic designer for many years. I was depressed for a long time, and emotionally I reached a point where I couldn't do corporate work anymore. I wanted to make my own artwork, not the client's. When I make a design project, it was like making answers. But I realized that I prefer to make good questions, not good answers. And so I quit. I just felt like I wanted to do something artistic, like painting, to heal myself. I tried many different materials like wood and fabrics. Then I thought every material has their own character, like different speed, different powers and directions to control. And clay was the perfect material to make me feel comfortable. I especially loved when I pushed my hand into the clay. The clay was pushed with the exactly same amount of power and direction with my gestures. That's why I fell in love with clay. Before going to grad school, I worked on visualizing emotions. I've been suffering from depression for a long time, and overcoming that was not easy. I was obsessed with the idea that if I could see the emotion, it would be easier to find a way to figure out. And so I worked on visualizing emotions as abstract form. I began creating images in clay by converting them into ambiguous figures and abstract forms. In the process of cutting, attaching, pulling and pushing the clay, the use of my body formed a very close relationship between the material, its expression, and me. After I graduated my MFA, I moved to New York City. I saw so many different forms of life, family, race, sexuality. At the first queer parade that I went to, I felt completely safe as a respected citizen. It was a monumental moment in my life. I never felt safety before. I've been afraid of and suppressed my queer identity for a long time. So much so that it felt insignificant, especially in South Korea. Working with the figure form in this way gives meaning to that suppressed side of myself. The figure form sculpture functions as a kind of souvenir or trophy in my life. My work can be thought of as a slightly disorganized puzzle. And sometimes you have the experience of looking at each piece of the puzzle itself, not the finished picture. Imagine a new story by looking at a sculpture. I want you to notice that the story is your story. It's a conversation with my work, and that's what I want. My work will become a mirror and create new stories or memories based on what you have experienced, and make the moments a souvenir. That's why I make art.